Good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon. I know all around the world we have people tuning in. My name is Katie Russo. I am the Assistant Director for Intercultural Programs here at UT Dallas. Welcome to our last orientation live session. I am so excited for those of you who have joined us several times throughout this summer. So today we have the Big Howdy team. They are a group of community volunteers who support international students in so many ways. Before I introduce them, I just wanted to go through some logistics. You can see and hear us. We cannot see or hear you. You will be able to ask questions on the right side of your screen. There is a comment box, so you can type a question in there, and we'll be answering questions towards the end of the session. If you need some extra support in language, you can turn on the closed captioning. There's a CC button on the bottom right of your screen, and you'll be able to turn that on in several different languages. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Darren Clement. He is our Big Howdy team member along with Jordan Pollock, and they will be giving you a presentation. So next slide, please.
Welcome over 1,800 new international students that come from all over the world. Big Howdy is a group or organization that have prepared this wonderful welcome from the community in partnership with us. We are so happy to have that number of international students that thought about UT Dallas as a destiny to come and study either a bachelor, a master, or a PhD.
We also do a furniture giveaway program. Every fall, we collaborate with local churches, and we collect furniture over the course of a summer, and then we distribute that at this once-a-year event. And then it goes on year-round as well. We also have grocery rides at least once a month, sometimes twice a month. Not only do we utilize the collaborative efforts of the organizations, student organizations on campus, but you need volunteers. And to do that, we reach out to churches in the area that are interested in international students. I would say probably over 1,000 volunteers between our friendship partner programs, airport pickups, home groups, to really reach the vision that we have to help every international student at UT Dallas.
Morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Darren. I'm the General Coordinator for the Big Howdy, and Jordan is also kind of co-coordinator. We've been doing this for a few years, and Big Howdy is just a collective group of student organizations and community partners just to welcome international students and serve international students at UT Dallas. Also serve the intercultural programming department, Letitia and Katie, Tamara, and we just have a great relationship with the campus, and we have many volunteers that are here just to help you. And that's can be quite challenging during this time right now, but we're here for you, whether it's virtually, digitally. We want to serve you, and I know many of you cannot be in Dallas at UT Dallas, but we still want to give you an American experience, a Texas taste of Texas culture, and so that's why we're here. And so we also have services that we do offer international students, most of which are for students who are on campus or living off campus. And so we're going to go through those really quick, but welcome to UTD, whether you're here or overseas. We're still here for you, and we want to create a kind of an American experience, but also a home away from home for all of you. And so that's why we are here. The next slide, please. I'm going to introduce Jordan. He's going to go through some of our services with you. So please, Jordan, if you would.
Yep. Hello, everyone. Yeah, you can look on the screen at this slide. You can see some of our services that we offer. We're going to talk a little bit more in depth about each of these services. But these are things that we offer usually, again, in person. However, some of these things we've adapted and changed. So that way we are able to do it also online. So even if you're not here in the States and studying physically at UTD but are online, there are still services that we offer and are changing to better suit the situation. And so if you'll go ahead and go to the next slide, I will start talking about some of the services. So our first one, of course, is airport pickups. Usually this is something that we do during the fall and spring semester. Of course, right now we're not able to do this, but it is something for students as you think about when you come here, what do I do? The ISSO and people will of course point you in the direction and send you modules of how to prepare and how to come. They'll also send you information about signing up for these pickups. So this is an opportunity for you to be picked up from the airport for free by an American volunteer here in Texas who will take you to where you live. We also want to stay in touch and follow and help you adjust to being here in Texas. And so it's a great way just to come and have a welcoming face greet you and get to start kind of learning about the American culture, even just as you step off the plane. So as next semester gets going, be watching out for updates and different things like that, because we would love to come and get you from the airport. We would love to welcome you physically, and yeah, so be watching out for that. You can always look at our Big Howdy website, which is something you're going to hear about a lot. This is where you can sign up for all of our services. So go to our Big Howdy website, watch out for updates and things like that. You can also sign in, and we'll talk about this a little bit more, but you can register to be a part of an online community on our website. And so that's an awesome opportunity to start getting connected, even if you're not physically here. And you can go ahead and go to the next slide. Our next services is furniture giveaway. I'm going to let Darren talk about this because he kind of handles that aspect of things.
All right, furniture giveaway. I do want to say just a couple of things about the airport pickup, because that's originally how Big Howdy even got started, was reaching out at a global voice meeting on campus, which we have quarterly. We heard the Indian Student Association, the ISA, kind of talking about how overwhelmed they were about picking up students and arranging temporary housing for students that come from India. And so my ears perked up, and so this was back in 2016. And so we just started, we have a lot of volunteers, so we just came to them, the ISA, and asked them, how can we help you? And so the next year is when we began our collective effort, Big Howdy. And so airport pickups is kind of the start of your journey here and kind of that first initial contact. And I still, to this day, have friends, made lifelong friends from that initial pickup at the airport. And so I love doing it. Our volunteers love to pick up students at the airport. Furniture giveaway. Most of the apartments that you are living in, when you come to Dallas, are unfurnished. And so the intercultural programming provides a storage unit. They rent out year-round near McCallum and Frankfurt off Coit, and which is really near campus. And so our job is to keep it filled with furniture donations for you. And so our volunteers provide that. You can register. Actually, the registration form you see on the slide is actually live right now. So if you're in Dallas and you do need furniture, please click on that registration form and fill that out. You have 3 to 4 different preferences. We may not have your first preference. Say you want a couch and you put that down as your first preference. Go ahead and fill out a second preference too, like a desk or whatever, because we may not have exactly your first preference, but we're bound to have something for you. And so we even have small items like kitchen appliances and utensils and things like that. So please fill out that form and we'll be in touch with you. We usually have a fall big furniture giveaway event, which unfortunately we cannot do that this fall, but we still want to help serve you. And when you go to this link, this furniture giveaway link on our UTD Big Howdy website, you'll see there is some safety protocol that we will use to keep you safe, to keep our volunteers safe during this time of COVID, but we still can get you furniture if you're in the Dallas area. So if you're not in the Dallas area right now and you can go ahead and sign up, but just know that these are really, I would encourage you to wait until you arrive in Dallas to fill out that furniture giveaway form. But this is a service that we've been doing for a few years. And once again, it's kind of like airport pickups. Our volunteers make friends for life when they do this because it provides an essential need that you have. And so let's see, you can go ahead and go to the next slide. All right, English conversation classes is another service that we provide. Usually this is on campus and the ICP is very generous in reserving a classroom on campus for us on Mondays. But during this time, we're not doing in-person classes, but we are offering online classes for you. For those of you that aren't in Dallas, every Tuesday and Thursday, Tuesday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, which is probably, if you're in India, that's going to be your evening time, Tuesday. And then Thursday at noon for those that are in the Dallas area is probably a more convenient time for you. You can go to the ICFUTD.com webpage. ICF is a student organization that actually, if you see that, ICF, I'm an advisor for that student organization. And so if you go to our website, you can click on Conversational English and go ahead and sign up for that. You can practice your English in small groups. We also offer one-on-one conversation partners as well, especially during this time. We want to help you build confidence in speaking, articulating your thoughts, also learning about American culture, idioms, things like that, correcting your pronunciation, even accent reduction. I know many of you know English very well, but you may not know what corporate culture in America looks like or how to give an interview. And so we have volunteers that are willing to help you with that. And so please go to that website. There's nothing like learning from a native English speaker. I will just go ahead and say that. It's one thing to learn it in your country from someone else, but there's nothing like a native English speaker. And so, yes, we have that. We also have people not only to help you with your interviews, but finding a job is a big thing for you. I'm guessing. I'm being sarcastic, but yes, finding a job, internships. We also have people that offer assistance in developing your resume. And so I know that the School of Management, JSOM, also does that, but we're here for you as well. And so please go to ICFUTD.com to sign up for English conversation classes and make use of that service. All right, you can go to the next slide, and Jordan is going to talk about this. Friendship Partners.
Hello. So Friendship Partners is a great program. Again, we want to connect with you. We want to get to know you, and we want to be able to learn about your culture and for you to learn about American culture. And so a great way that we do this is through Friendship Partners. This is one of the things that we're going to be doing also online via Zoom. And so this is going to be something that you can do even if you're not here studying in person. You can also do online just by going and signing up. You can see that there's a website there at the bottom of this slide that you can go to sign up to be a Friendship Partner. And Friendship Partner is a really cool thing that we get to be a part of because it's an aspect of getting to build relationships and connect and getting involved. And so what we do is we usually have an American or an American family that want to meet international students. They want to learn about other cultures. They want to kind of be that family that when you're here, like they're here for you, and be able to help you adjust and help you learn about what we do and how we do things and things like that, and share life with you. And so what we do is we partner an American or American family with an international student or 2 international students. And then the requirement basically is to meet up a couple times a month and have dinner or a game night or something like that, that you're able to just have fun and get to catch up and you know, how's your week going? How's school going? How are you adjusting? And even doing that over Zoom, you know, how are online classes, or how's your screen time, different things like that. And so this is an opportunity that we really want to encourage you to start going ahead and connecting and building relationships, because hopefully in the near future, like, you'll get to come and study physically here at UTD. And just think about it, if you've already made a connection with someone who's here, and getting to see them in person for the first time after you've had that relationship is going to be really cool. And so I'm really excited about Friendship Partners. I think this is going to be a great way that you can go ahead and start feeling connected to UTD and the Dallas area. And so I really encourage you, go and sign up and make a friend with an American. And so Darren is going to talk about the next slide that his group kind of handles, which is home groups.
All right, home groups. Jordan talked about Friendship Partner. Friendship Partners are more of a one-on-one relationship. Home groups is a little bit, as you can tell, it's a bit from the picture, and unfortunately we don't look like this at this time, but this picture, it kind of gives the attitude and the atmosphere environment that home groups bring, which is fun, and different ethnicities, different students from all over the world. It's one great thing about UTD that I love, that has over 100 different countries represented here. And so where Friendship Partners is one-to-one, home groups, you get to learn, you get to meet more American families, you get to gather, you get to even meet different international students from parts of the world and learn about their culture and learn about their food, what they eat that's different than what you eat. And so even though we can't gather physically face to face, I want to encourage you to take part and sign up for home groups, because we still meet online. And so we can still share our meals together virtually. I think if you cook a meal from your home and I cook one from my American culture, you get to introduce that and learn about different cultures and build that relationship. And as Jordan said, with Friendship Partners, expanding your network, you can do that even more with home groups, because there's more people, more people to network with in home groups. And you'll learn more about, you can sign up at icfutd.com home groups. We're also going to eventually put this on our UTD Big Howdy website, iCampus, which Jordan's going to talk more about that towards the end of our time here. But I really want to strongly encourage you to be intentional about engaging in American culture. I know many of you, it's hard to do virtually. Maybe you probably are fatigued with Zoom, with Teams, with all of the online learning. But please, you know, your academics are important, but just as important, I think, in America is to relate socially and interact socially with Americans. And so you need to be intentional about set aside some time to do that. And home groups is a great way to do that, and to spend time meeting new Americans and other students that are at UTD as well, all around the world. Okay, next slide, please. We're going to talk a little bit more about the student orgs that are involved with the Big Howdy team. And Jordan's going to talk about this.
Yeah, so we just wrapped up kind of the services that we do for international students from the Big Howdy perspective. And just a reminder, We can't hear you, so if you have questions about our services, go ahead and put those in the frequently asked questions, because we will have a Q&A at the end of this presentation. And so if you have questions about those or comments, go ahead and put those in there, and we'll get to those when we get to that part of the presentation. We want to talk about the student organization. So Big Howdy is not just like one organization. It is a group of community volunteers and organizations here on campus at UTD that want to serve international students, that want to help you adjust, want to help you feel connected, because this is your campus as well. And so, as you can see, some of the groups that are on there, we have Alpha. I am a part of the Baptist Student Ministry on campus, the Fellowship of Christian University Students Focus. We have ICF, International Christian Fellowship, which is what Darren is a part of. InterVarsity and Reform University Fellowship International, RUFI, are all great organizations here on this campus that have a heart to welcome people and to love people, specifically you as an international student. We all had backgrounds for many, many years working with international students. And so this, like we've said before, we're not a group that is just starting off. We're all coming back with years of experience, and have been doing the Big Howdy specifically for the last almost 5 years. And so this is an ongoing thing. And so know that when you sign up for something and you get to start getting to be a part of something, this isn't just a one-time thing, but we want to stay connected. And so we want to follow up. We want to get to know you. And so that's important. I want you to know that this is not one-time things that we want to do, but we want to get connected. If you'll go ahead and go to the next slide, I'll talk about some of the organizations who have put in some information that they want us to know. Our first one is about Alpha. Alpha is an organization that wants to serve international students by exploring faith. And so if you want to have dinner, either virtually, like Darren was talking about, or maybe you want to bring a dessert or a drink or something like that, and just sit down. It's a group of people that get together and talk about different faith and things like that. And it's really cool. It's only an hour and a half. You sit, watch a video, you talk about the video, you kind of talk about your opinions, and it's a time to be heard. And so that's a really cool opportunity. So if you have any questions about that, there's a link there that you can contact Ivan there. And so, excuse me, if you will go ahead and go to the next slide. This is the Baptist Student Ministry, which I am a part of. And so one of the things that we do, that we did do until last semester, is a free lunch. And so students that are coming to campus, if you're one of those students, watch out for that. We're going to try to do some different things. So just watch for information and updates. Again, a great way to do that is to join our iCampus, which I'll talk about at the end of this presentation, because that's where we're going to shoot a lot of updates and promote a lot of things that are going to be good and useful for you. And so be aware of that. The Baptist Student Ministry also does what's called Chai and Chat. This is where we get to have chai tea and talk with people. And this is something that we're going to do on Zoom, but also physically. And so our first thing is that we want to do is get to know you. And so we think the best way to do that is over a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or whatever your favorite drink is, and to sit down and just talk and get to know you as a person and explore what life looks like for you as a student at UTD, and get to share kind of what we do. It's not a friendship partner. It's not a home group. This is kind of a come and go kind of thing where we get to sit down and listen and hear and ask questions and get to know you a little bit more. And so if you'll go ahead and go on to the next slide. Darren is going to talk about his group.
All right. Our group is ICF, International Christian Fellowship, And in addition to, we talked about English classes, friendship partners, home groups. ICF also hosts retreats and excursions to kind of get you students off campus and out and explore Texas. Texas has a lot to offer. And one of the things that we typically do every fall is a trip to NASA in the Johnson Space Center in Houston, where we get to tour NASA every year. Last year we got to go, and we actually, you got introduced to one of the recent recruits, an astronaut, Bob Hines, was there last year. And so it's pretty cool. You get to meet an astronaut and talk to him. And unfortunately, we probably won't get to do that this fall. But we are working on something digitally to get connected to NASA. We have some friends of ours, ICF friends down in Houston, and we're working on that. So please be looking for more information about that. Every spring, we do a Tejas spring retreat where we go a couple hours out into the woods, camping retreat, and get you off campus, especially spring break time. You're ready for a break. And so we fish, we canoe, we zip line, horseback ride, we much more. We hopefully will get to take these trips again. But like I said, if not, we'll find something for you to do to kind of give you that excursion experience. And so please check us out, icfutd.org. You can also check out our Facebook page, Friends of ICF at UTD. Also Instagram, UT Dallas ICF. We have an Instagram handle there. So yes, and then if you go ahead and go to the next slide, I want to talk about RUFI. RUFI is led by David Billingsley, which many of you, if you join our welcome party this Saturday, you'll get to meet. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, as married with 2 beautiful daughters. And so, but they do a dinner and discussion. And usually, if you see, you can sign up and check them out at Instagram as well, or email rufiutd@gmail.com to learn more about their services. But every Thursday morning, for those of you who are overseas, you can connect Thursday mornings. And then for those that are here in the Dallas area, on Thursday evenings, virtual discussion on Zoom. And so just a great, once again, another way. We just have so many volunteers that want to meet you and interact with you and give you a positive experience here at UTD. And so we're going to go right into the UTDBigHowdy.com website and the iCampus that we have available for you, and Jordan is going to talk about that.
Yeah, so we have the iCampus for UTD Big Howdy. It does say that it's coming. It's past August 4th, though, so the website is live, and we really want to encourage you, go to that website, and as soon as you enter the Big Howdy website, it's the first picture that comes up that asks you to join and visit the iCampus. And so what the iCampus is a way for you as a student to connect with other students and our organizations, and also hear updates and resources. And so what you do is you go to that website, utdbighowdy.com, and then click on that visit and join the Big Howdy iCampus, and register using using your UTD email so that we know that you are a student. And then you're able to go in, and it's kind of really great. It's a little bit of a social networking. If you go to the next slide, you can kind of see one of the pages. Now this page was kind of when we were setting things up, so it looks a lot different now, a lot more pictures and resources and articles. But on this website, you can go in, you can create a profile. So you can tell people who you are, you can put a picture there. There's an About Me section, so you can tell people your hobbies, your interests. There's social networks, so you can connect and share your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your Facebook, whatever you want to share. You get to create that profile. And so with that, you're able to go and you can see there's a chat. And so you can chat with anyone who's online at the time, or message people who, you know, maybe in the same program that you are, or if there's an organization that you see someone is a part of and you want to ask questions about that, you can message them through this website. There's also a place called Groups, and And with the groups, you can go in and see what events are happening, what group is doing what, and ask questions and things in those groups as well. So we've created forums. So this is a great opportunity for you to expand your community while online. And that is by going and being on that website, asking questions, going to some of the events. We're going to have a calendar in which we're going to put all of our Zoom events on that calendar. So if you want to go and be a part of something, you can go to that website, log in, and then click, and then you can join that conversation. And so we want to make this as easy for you and a great way to get connected as soon as possible. Along with the social aspect of it, this is also where we're going to be posting a lot of things to stay up to date on campus news, resources. As ISSO is putting out events and different things like that, we want to be able to promote those on that website to let you know about things that are coming up, or see some of the modules and videos that they have, because they have a lot of really great resources on their YouTube channel. So we have a link that goes straight to their YouTube channel, so you can go and watch their past videos and things like that. And so this is a great opportunity to go ahead, get connected, get involved, and get to know people. And so I really encourage you today, or as soon as you're done with this presentation, go to that website and sign up. It's not very long. It won't take you any time at all. And then it's a great way to go ahead and start visiting with people. And also, we're going to have the UTD Big Howdy welcome party, which Darren is going to talk about this Saturday. So Darren, if you want to share about that.
Okay, yeah, so our last little talk is about the welcome party. As Jordan said, I think most of you are multitaskers. You can probably go to the website as you're watching this live feed and go to utdbighowdy.com /party registration. Go ahead and sign up right now. Everything that we've been talking about, our services we offer, not only start now and they're ongoing. This is a one-time welcome party event, and that's this Saturday, August 15th. It's at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, which is 9 a.m. here in the morning in Dallas, but it'd probably be evening if you're overseas. And so we wanted to make it a convenient time for everyone to join. But it's a good time to meet and chat with Americans. We have a bunch of Americans that have already signed up for this welcome party event. We're going to do breakout rooms, get you in smaller discussions, so you get to right off the bat. You can, right at the very start of your school experience at UTD, you can meet an American. As we said, the services, airport pickups, many of you can't, we're not doing airport pickups. This is can be your first engagement with an American volunteer and interaction with an American friend. And so please sign up for this welcome party. We have students that are going to be emceeing. You'll get a little taste of Texas, UT Dallas life during this event. Fun activities. We're going to have prize giveaways during this time. You'll get to see some of the Texas line dance experience to learn, about how to dance in Texas. And so I know many of you are dancers, and so it's a good time to just get a little taste of Texas here. And so please go to the utdbighowdy.com website. Just explore that website, the iCampus page, sign up for the welcome party. We're doing our best to give you an American experience, a Texas experience, a UT Dallas experience. And so please take advantage of that. Once again, I cannot say this enough, is really as your academic journey begins at UTD, you can become busy and overwhelmed with academics. Please schedule some time in your week to get away from academics, take a break, and engage in the American opportunities that you have available at your disposal. And so just to connect and build friends all around the world. And that's why we're here. And so with that said, that's the Big Howdy slide presentation. And we want to now go to kind of a Q&A time. And I think Tamara is going to do the Q&A for us. If you have any questions, please put them in there and we'll try to answer those questions.
Yes, good morning. Thank you, and good evening to everyone. Thank you so much, Darren and Jordan from the UTD Big Howdy team for sharing with us about your services and resources. So for those of you who are on this live event with us, our comment section is currently open. It has been open for a little while. So please go ahead, whatever questions you have for UTD Big Howdy, go ahead and post them now. You can find the comment section. It's on your right-hand side. There will be two icons like chat box, two chat boxes with a question mark there. So you can post your question there. And in the comment section also is the registration link for the to register for the welcome party. So please go ahead and access the registration link and make sure to sign up. That way, you know, UTD Big Howdy can have a good idea as to how many people to expect, because as someone that plans events, you know, I think maybe in person was a bit different, but you know, like let's say you expected 20 people, but then you have like 200. So so it's kind of a surprise there. So please go ahead and sign up so that they can make sure to properly prepare for that. But while we're waiting for questions to come in from our listeners, I actually do have a question for you, Darren. You spoke about the English conversation classes. When do those classes actually start?
Okay, those online classes will begin next week. School begins the 17th. And so that Tuesday next week and Thursday of next week. So those classes, they're ready to go. In fact, I think they've been offering Thursday all throughout the summer, the Thursday class at noon. So that will continue on at that same time, and the Tuesday class will begin next week. But please sign up and register for that because many of our volunteers want to interact, engage in English conversation with those of you who want one-on-one tutoring or one-on-one help with your English.
Okay. Great. So so the timeline is fast approaching. So please sign up. And actually, I do have another question. Do you know for the classes? Well, I think they're only an hour at a time.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes, they're usually an hour. Usually face-to-face, if we're on campus, they can go up to an hour and a half and sometimes even longer because we just get engaged in small group conversation. Obviously, that's a little bit more difficult to do digitally online. And so, but yeah, we usually allow about an hour for classes.
Okay, cool. And that's a pretty good length of time, particularly to make sure that you learn the content, but also that your brain doesn't get too exhausted. So for those of you who want more information about that, I have the flyer here that we have on our Instagram. So the Tuesday class is going to be at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. So kind of around this time, well, now it's 9 a.m. here, but it will be at a time that, hopefully you will be able to make. So if you are virtual, if you are studying with us like in India or in China or some other country that has like a huge time zone difference from Texas, and it would be in the evening. So hopefully that will be, after you have completed your schoolwork and everything, or maybe after you have completed work if you are a working student. So hopefully you can make it to that. And then the Thursday class is at noon. So that's at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay. And then the next question, or actually this is less of a question and more of a point, what you were sharing about the home groups. And I really like what you had said about making virtual meals. I have never, it's very interesting because social media, I think, I don't want to say started off with people taking pictures of their meals, but that's probably a large part of Instagram content is look at what I had for breakfast, look at what I had for dinner. So if you are very interested in that, please, sign up for the home groups, because that's when you really get to talk to individuals and to groups in a, on a smaller group basis. voices. So it's not you like being in a large group of 200 people. And this campus is that large where, you know, if you attend a UTD Big Howdy event, there are 200 people or more there. So it's a way to, you know, get to know people on a smaller scale and kind of, you know, get more details about certain things. And in regards to, so, you know, these are just suggestions for international students, because as an international person myself, I like to kind of, you know, pass on some things that I have learned. So definitely try to get connected, whether with the English classes or with the home groups, or both. And then also what you said about the language learning. So this is for me as a former English teacher as well, that you know, yes, I can see sometimes with, if you have to sign up for an English class, you know, it can be, if you're tired from all the Zooming and everything. But I just want to encourage everyone that, you know, English class is not only for, you don't have to have everything perfect going on in your life, right? So, you know, you can have a difficult day, you can have a stressful day. And if you definitely need to take a mental health day, you know, if you signed up for the English class and you said, man, I just had a lot today, so I just need like a mental health day where I just, you know, I just need a break. But, you know, it still is a good opportunity for you to practice, because you can talk about how you are feeling, you know, you can talk about the things that you are going through, and you can learn the language to express what is happening. So, so definitely for the classes, you know, if you can sign up for them, they are free. You don't have to pay, you don't have to search for an ESL, you know, website where you try to be matched with a teacher and, you know, have to pay them money and all of these things. So please take advantage of their services. Okay, we do have a question. Yay! Thank you so much, Anonymous, for posting your question. It says, when you send out emails, is it also possible to post the timings in Indian time as well? Thanks. So I'm not sure if that question is for Darren or for ICP. So we typically do, so I guess maybe I'll go ahead and you know, share what, and then maybe Darren, if you want to add something to that. So whenever we send out communication from UT Dallas, we do tend to put times that are there for our time zone, which is Texas, which is Central Standard Time. If we do put one time zone, because we have students from, you know, like 100 plus countries, it would be a lot of different time zones for us to put on there, and we don't want someone to feel necessarily left out, to say, oh, well, we, you know, you put a time zone for India time zone, but what about China? What about Korea? And then what about Iran? And, you know, we have students from all over. What about Nigeria? And what about, you know, Colombia or South America? So it is, and plus I think it would look a little bit neater to just have one time zone instead of having, you know, 5 or 6 different time zones. So I apologize for that. Hopefully, if I understand, I think the time zone difference is 10 hours, if I'm not mistaken. So if that is helpful to you in any way, to just know that it's about, yeah, I think there's a 10-hour time zone difference. I'm not sure exactly, but I think for communication purposes and to be able to, you know, for everyone, all of our student body to understand what is happening, I think it's a little neater to just put the Texas time, which is Central Standard Time. Yes. So.
Yeah, we do have a good working relationship with the Indian Student Association. In fact, the current ISA president's on one of our Big Howdy welcome videos, Shreyesh. And so, he's going to probably put out that flyer for the welcome party as well. And if he may put Indian time on his information, I'm not sure. But yeah, we encourage all of our student groups, Chinese student group, Bangladesh, to take part in this. But yeah, we use the Central Standard Time.
Yes, yeah, and there are many good websites out there. I know that there's one called Time and Date, which I use a lot to kind of, help me figure out the different times across the world, because it is tricky. And to be honest with you, whenever we plan events, we absolutely take into consideration the whole time zones as well whenever we plan our events. So thank you for asking about that. Okay, once again, the comment section is still open. So if you have any questions, if you want to know more about the English classes, about the welcome party, about the home groups, or anything else, please let us know. And then, so while I'm waiting for questions to come in, I guess another point that I would like to make is that, the UTD Big Howdy team, they are a group of volunteers. They are not, paid workers of UT Dallas. So it's actually is really awesome to be able to work with them. If we were to pay them for the hours that they did, and not to say that we wouldn't want to, but I'm just saying, like, they're such a valuable part of our community, and they really give a lot of their own time and their own, resources and their own efforts. So I would just like to, to thank y'all so much for being interested in serving students. I know y'all have a lot of experience, a lot of resources, and also just a large social network. And then, as Jordan said earlier as well, that your group is very experienced. So, it's not like, oh, we have no idea like what we're doing. Like, y'all have everything. You already have your resources. You already have your years of experience. And so if anyone is wondering, okay, what is this group? What do they have? Trust me, they have a lot. They have a lot. And they're absolutely, like, literally, they're volunteering to help you. That is what they're volunteering to do. And sometimes, yeah.
Most of our volunteers have experience overseas, which they bring a different perspective. Like you said, being from a different country, you've experienced culture shock before. And so that most of our volunteers have experienced that. I lived in China for 4 years. And so that's one of the reasons why I do what I do, is because I've been where students are. And so they experience that culture shock and experience different tastes of food and something that's not quite like your home. And so most of our volunteers have experienced that. And that brings a lot to the table when you have a different perspective. You can somewhat empathize and understand where a student is coming from.
Oh, absolutely. And, I've said this several times during our orientation sessions that, before you come to America, you know everything about America. And then you come to America and you don't know everything. And it's not bad. It's not that you didn't study hard enough or watch hard enough, but when you're physically in a different place that has different food. I remember, Darren, when I came here, I was missing a particular type of Jamaican food. And, I hadn't had that dish in a long time. And eventually I found a Jamaican restaurant. I was able to, get the meal that I was looking for. And I was trying to enjoy the meal, and it just didn't taste the same. And do you know why? Because I am from a country that has a warm climate. And so I had never eaten this meal in a place that was cold before. And I know it sounds weird, but whenever you have memories in your head, there's so many things that surround it, right? You're like, okay, maybe if I usually eat this, it's like the weather is warm, kind of all these things. And then, like, I was eating something and it was cold, and I'd never been cold before. So it's when you're physically in a place, it can change so many things. So yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that y'all have that, experience and that perspective to know what it is like to, live in a different culture. So that y'all will be able to help the students with that. Okay, we actually do have a question. Thank you so much. Another anonymous for a question. It says, will the English class help me in improving my accent?
I would say yes. Yes, we have. In fact, a couple of ours have taught accent reduction classes for many years. And so that's their specific field, is accent reduction. And so, which is a little bit different than just ESL. accent reduction is a specific, targeted, meets a specific need. And so a couple of our volunteers do accent reduction. And so that is offered, that's available for you. Because you will find it's different, even if you think you know English, that your accent may be quite different once you arrive in the States and apply for a job and sit down in an interview with an American interviewer. And so anyway, yeah, we do offer accent reduction as part of that.
Yes, and to kind of add to Darren's point, as he says, the accent reduction is an offer that they have, so you don't necessarily have to, you're not forced to, take on a North American accent. I know as a native English speaker that doesn't have a North American accent, sometimes it can feel like, well, the only way to speak English is if you, sound just like an American. And it I'm not going to lie, but it can be a thing where people just feel like that's the only proper way. So as he said, it is there. So if that is your goal, if that's what you want to do, great, that is fine. But they will not force you to say, if you come to this class, you have to, speak with a North American accent. And also, I would like to say, for those of you who do want to be a part of the class and you might be a little bit nervous, please know that even listening is very helpful. And once again, this is kind of my ESL teacher tips, but when you start out learning language as a baby, you actually listen a lot more before you can even speak, right? Babies listen, and young children listen, and then eventually at some point they can figure out how to put things together. So even if you feel like, oh, my level is not high, and for these classes, I believe y'all help people at different levels, right, Darren? It doesn't matter if you're like beginner or kind of intermediate or advanced, which if you are a college student, you're probably not beginner, but yeah.
All different levels, yes.
Right.
Because we have students that have different levels and proficiency levels. And so, yes, we do. Yeah, all different levels are available.
Yeah, so don't feel, like, oh, I'm not this or I'm not that. Go, start wherever you are, right? That's the only place you can start. You cannot start where someone else is because you're not someone else. So start where you are, and you might come in, and however you feel about it, it's okay. Just sign up for the class, and see how the teachers are. I know I've been to their classes, I've popped in, I've stopped by to steal a snack when we were on campus, and they're very friendly and very welcoming. So don't be too nervous. Just stop in and check it out, and even if you have to listen a lot in the beginning, they will absolutely help you along the way. Okay, well, I don't see any more questions here. This is kind of the final call for questions. But once again, we do have the registration for the UTD Big Howdy Welcome Party. As Darren said, it is this Saturday, so please go ahead and sign up, and meet new people, right? Meet a lot of Americans, and you'll meet a lot of international people as well. So classes are going to start next week. So before you get into classes and all of that, just attend the party. You will feel welcomed. You will understand more about UTD, and I think it will be a good positive note to start the semester on. Okay, well, I think since we don't have any more questions coming in, I would like to go ahead and close out the session, and I will hand it over to Katie for that.
Thank you, Tamara. So thank you to Darren and Jordan for presenting all this amazing information. We really hope that you get to attend the welcome party. Please check out their website. They are such a great team that help international students, whether you're in your home country or in the US. But thank you so much for attending, and we cannot wait to see you in person or virtually at events that we are hosting. So thank you so much. Goodbye.